Cool. So now that we know how deep we want the terrain to be, our curves here can also stand to be finished. So we're gonna move them up a little bit. Just we'll keep this like that for a minute. Again, just in the same way that we wanted this to span the geometry on the left and right side, this will need to go from clearly above it to clearly below it too. So I'm just gonna move it up like 5, and then we're also gonna extrude these down. We're gonna turn these curves into planes of sorts. Same thing, transform extruded front, global, and we'll just move them down some amount. There's a lot of times where we can automate this. It was just as easy to just set it ourselves here. Or you can always do things like, well, how much should we extrude it by? Well, we know that we need to make up for the 5 we went above. So I could say, paste that. We'll want it to accommodate it being above and below. So we'll want to do 2 of these. We'll want it to be negative because we want it to go down. We know we needed to span the length, or the entire depth rather, of this extrude, so we could throw that in there too. So we could say that minus that distance, or probably rather plus because it's already negative. And there you go. So there's a lot of times where we can do stuff like that, and it's nice. We're not always going to do that, meaning like we're not always going to make it procedural. So now when I do update the depth, the cutters update too, and that's cool. If you think you're going to vary this attribute up later, maybe to wedge it, maybe to try different sims, then it can be worthwhile. So that's cool. So now we found out -30 is an ideal amount to do. I could copy that and say, we should actually probably do that many divisions. Well, because it's a negative number, we'll need to put the absolute value of that so that the negative becomes positive and the positive stays positive. Now we have that many divisions, and maybe we'll even do twice as many as that. Cool. So now we've got lots of points that we can, once again, jitter or perturb or whatever we want to call it. I'm going to say jitter cutters, something like that. In this case, this frequency was super high. Let's do a different one this time. Let's do a sparse convolution noise. You can always just experiment with these if you want to see what they do. I'm going to put this all the way down. Let's put this down towards 1. That's still too much. Let's start working our way down. Down, down, down. Probably somewhere around here. And in order to make it look maybe more like there's like kind of strata, we can maybe just move the Y one like this. And you can have a lot of fun with this. I mean, you can probably spend all day tweaking that. But I'm going to say, let's just do something like that. So we have these kind of ridges. We have these flat areas here. And I don't know, it kind of looks like a cliffside somewhat. We can bring the turbulence down so it's not quite so crazy. Maybe we'll keep it at 3. That's pretty good. Awesome. So we have ourselves some cutters. Well, we're going to feed these into the Boolean. Oopsies. And we'll just say cutters. So now we're going to talk about what are Booleans exactly.